Welcome to today's conference, The New Frontier Winning in Finance and Investment in the Age of Artificial Intelligence.
We believe that AI is not a substitute for human judgment. It is an amplifier of the human judgment. As a CFA, we know that it is about how we are going to be able to build the trust from our client.
In principle, artificial intelligence and machine learning have the potential to significantly enhance the operational efficiency, risk management capabilities, financial inclusion efforts, and customer relationship management practice.
Okay, so our first panel discussion would be titled AI Power Investing, How AI is Revolutionizing the Investment Industry. In this session, we will explore how artificial intelligence is transforming the landscape of investment, decision-making, portfolio management, and market analysis. This panel will be moderated by Ibu Hani Gunggoro, CFA, Financial and People Consultant ThinkMap Personality Profiler. Bu Hani is a business financial consultant and a ThinkMap Personality Profiler with over 30 years of experience in various projects, including involving financial management, corporate information, and systems. She holds the CFA certification as well. Please welcome Bu Hani. The session is yours. Thank you.
Thank you. I will moderate the panel 1. AI is no longer a tool. It is a lens through which we see things, we think, and we invest. So today in this panel, let's explore and discover some of the extended perspective and insight our expert panelists will bring to the table, helping all of us to stay ahead, drive innovation in our company. I would like to welcome Pak Panji Wisman, our first one of the panelists. Pak Panji is the Chief Technology Officer in Microsoft Indonesia. His career includes 8 years in IBM, also as CTO, benar ya Pak?
Iya, betul Bu.
A stint career in Bibli, Kaskus, and Jarum Group. Also 3 years in NGO, 3 years ya Pak ya?
Exactly.
And 8 years as a university lecturer. According to him, that's how he started his career. He's passionate about digital transformation, and today he will bring the technology perspective in our discussion. Thank you, Pak.
Thank you for the opportunity.
And I would like to welcome Ms. Ekta Gandhi. Ms. Ekta is an AI enthusiast with more than 20 years of experience in driving technology innovation in Wall Street firms like Citicorp, JP Morgan, and Bedrock. She has expertise in risk management and banking platform in a platform like Aladdin and Investran. Am I saying it correctly? Yes. She is the founder of Unity for AI, a firm focused on helping businesses navigate AI adoption to drive meaningful impact. I hope I say it correctly again.
Unity 7 AI.
Unity 7 AI. Okay, that's her company. Welcome.
Thank you.
Number 3, Pak Joshua. Yeah, sure. Pak Joshua, graduate Faculty Physics University of Indonesia. He is a CFA charter holder. He started his career 21 years ago in UBS Security, covering equity strategy and banking sector. Today, he is the managing director of UBS Security. And by the way, Pak Joshua is also one of the founder together with Pak Pahala, who established CFA Society Indonesia 25 years ago. Betul ya Pak? Okay, so welcome. Okay, so we will start the presentation. Each panelist will present his view or her view on these topics, and I will welcome the Q&A, some of the questions from of you at the end of the presentation.
So, selamat pagi Bapak Ibu sekalian. Good morning everyone, all these distinguished participants. This is such an honor for me to be part of this discussion. But being honest, Pak, I'm the one that maybe in the room not understand really on the investment area. I always say to my wife, I give you my salary and please invest in the good way, right? So that's my investor, right? At this moment, right? So in my session, right, I would like to share with you about the technology side of the AI, right? And I would like to start with the first question that always come up from the customers. As we know, AI is not new technology at all. It's come from the 1956, but the question is why it's happening now, right? Not now, but it's actually 2 years back ago. So I would like to start with this diagram, Bapak Ibu sekalian. So the dotted one is showing up about the compute process and the data process that happening on top of the compute power. As we know, computer have a brain, what we call as a chip or CPU, central processing unit, right? And in the 1960, there's a Moore law, it's very famous law in terms of the chip computation area, which is just mentioned that every chip transistor will be doubled in terms of size every 2 years, right? And this transistor will be affecting how much the power that owned by the computer to compute certain mathematical function, right? But basically the computer will always talking about the computing power, right? And then surprisingly, in the 1960s, this role is quite famous. It's governed all the chip processing manufacturing processes in the world, right? But there's some of the trend, right? And if you see in the middle of 19, they are starting up talking about the 1.5 time per year. So it's not 2 years anymore. But in the 2010, you see there's a kind of the hype happening in terms of the capability of the chip processing, which is going into 4.2 times per year. Meaning that the compute powers is jolting up, right? Including this is part of the cloud technologies coming up into the market. This providing a limitless, in theory is quite a limitless compute power for everyone to compute on top of this environment. To give you a glimpse about what I'm talking about in this particular scale, right? So when in 1960 starting up in the compute power, it's like we seeing the shark, right? But in the middle of the process, in the 19, we are seeing the orca, right? And then now we are seeing the blue whale. Right? Kalau Bapak Ibu lihat di film, itu kan besar sekali gitu ya, blue whale. So this is the scale of the computation that currently available in the world. Meaning that now you can build many different AI model on top of this compute power. So that's the reason why, and that's the reason all the AI hype coming in these last 3 years. Because the compute power and data now is more available, and it's creating the innovation in terms of the model, so we can see in this video.
This is our new video translator. With this, I can translate videos into other languages in my own voice. Maintenant, je peux enfin parler français comme je l'ai toujours voulu. または日本語で何かを囁くこともできます。या मैं हिंदी में चिल्लाकर आपसे बात करूं? This AI is going to bring the world together.
Okay, so I think in this video, right, as you see, we do what we call the real-time translation, right? When you speak in English, automatically the language is translated in the real-time manner into different language, and then the facial is also follow that particular language, right? Including the tone and then the voice. Looking at this technology point of view, you can see this is kind of the complex AI computation, right? If you're going back into the last 30 years ago, or maybe no, 10 years ago, the translation process itself is quite complex, right? And then the video manipulation process also complex. But now, with this blue whale compute capability and the model that we currently develop, you can do this all within the real-time process, right? And how it's impacting our life from the technology standpoint. In the next years or the next 5 years, you will see the consistent model where the AI will take much more complex cases in your businesses with these three different pillars, right? First, it's about the universal interface. Now, if you're trying to compare when you are interact with the computer, previously we always typing the code, right? But now you can talk with ChatGPT. You can talk with the Copilot. Even now, they has become the partner for you in the day-to-day life, right? This is my anecdote when I talking with my wife. Right? My wife said that you are always busy, but there is no issue anymore because I have the ChatGPT, because it's consistently available and provide the always positive feedback for me. Right? You can try it at home actually if you want to go with the ChatGPT, which is technology running in our platform. And then this universal interface, going into another layer which is quite fascinating, is about technology capability for the AI to do the reasoning and planning. Reasoning is the one that focusing on in the AI part, right? AI is always built trying to do the reasoning. But the new things is have the capability to do the planning. What is the meanings on the planning here? I will give you the one example. If you're trying to ask your assistants to booking the ticket from the Jakarta to Bali, there's a very simple structured command, right? And then he will take the lowest fare and then get the ticket. But if you say the command with the complex requirement, for example, I have 100 billion rupiah, I would like to spend 10 days in Bali, please create some of the itinerary for my trip and then ensure that I get the best experience for me. There's a very complex requirement, but now AI can take that one and breaking down into specific tasks and create planning between the tasks to complete specific goal, right? And in order to finish that specific goal and to achieve the specific goal, now AI have the capability for memory and context. Memory is the use for recording every step and every milestone that achieved by AI when they completing the specific task. And then the context, put the target, intermediary, and the final target to the AI itself. For example, right, in the previous example that I said, the context means that I want to go for the vacation. That's the first context. The second one, I would like to get the best experience for my holiday, right? Those things have become a context. And with this universal interface, reasoning, planning, memory, and context, you will get the new experience, what we call as the agentic AI, right? So you can imagine now, I always saying to my customer, this is my example, you know the Despicable Me movie, right? Minion, right? The yellow one, orang-orang kecil itu Bapak Ibu. That's kind of the agent, right? There's 100 agent with the specific function, with the specific behavior, which is they can connect each other and working together to achieve specific purpose, which is talking about arranging the trip for yourself, doing the right investment in their particular case, but within that particular test, they will create relationship between the agent. So now, the ultimate game is to create automated agent, meaning that you can say, I would like to do the investment with certain amount of the money, with certain amount of target, and let compute and let AI to think and generate the result for you. That's the agentic AI. And we are going to that particular path. In our prediction, within the next 3 years, this technology already mature, and you will see in the market, you will get all the agentic as a component for your business to do the innovation. And at the end, with all this agentic AI and capability, we see there's an opportunity for us to focusing on enrich employee experience, reinvent customer engagement, reshape business processes, and also bend the curve of innovation. This is something that we've seen being consistent across different industries, and we always guide our customer in Microsoft to be being focused in this 4 pillars. But again, AI has become a journey, meaning that not, if you're using the ChatGPT, meaning that you already get the best benefit from AI, Not at all. That's starting the journey, right? When you are start the journey on AI, you need to consider these 4 pillars. One is about the culture, process, data, security, and compliance. Again, from Pak Mirza OJK, we heard many times about the security and compliance, which is very important and fundamental for us to govern the AI implementation on your organization. Everything that we can do with the AI, basically at the end, we're trying to empower every person, every organization in the world to achieve more. Again, thank you for the opportunity. I hope this is starting up the journey on our discussion in AI area. Thank you. Back to you, Tuan.
So thank you so much, Pak Panji. Now,
Hello, everyone. What an honor to be here among all of you. Thank you, CFA Society, to invite us, and truly inspiring to be part of this wonderful, brilliant minds that are present here. So I will talk about AI from a change management perspective. And I did prepare a few slides, but I'm happy to also have a conversation with you about the questions that you may have. So I spent, like Ibu Annie was saying, that I spent 20 plus years in Wall Street, New York. And when I moved 2.5 years ago to this part of the world, I would get asked this question a lot of times, why? And the response to that, half jokingly, I sometimes said, well, I'm taking a break from American politics. But we all know very well that no one gets a break from American politics. But on a positive note, the time I spent in Wall Street was incredible in terms of the opportunities I had, in terms of some of the names, Citi, JP Morgan Chase, BlackRock. These are companies and organizations with deep pockets. And what that meant is that I had access to the latest and greatest technologies. I got to work in technologies that were just making news. So right when AI had just come out 10, 15 years ago, BlackRock was implementing it in robo-advising. And past that, we saw a wave of data science. We saw how machine learning combined with data was predicting future for us. And fast forward here, we have generative AI now having conversations with us and giving us ideas, giving us suggestions, doing market research for us. Here in this part of the world, I have to tell you that the vibe and the energy is electric. It is truly inspiring to be around in this region, in APAC, around young talent, around you guys who are optimistic, who are very open to adopting technology. And quite honestly, you are looking forward to what this is going to bring. And that's been my experience. Of course, there is another side to it, which is, which we heard in the morning or just a few minutes ago in terms of, the jobs and so on. But the young generation is excited, is willing, and is trying to upskill. So what am I doing here? Well, I run a company out of Singapore, and we support clients in identifying where AI can deliver maximum impact, a real measurable impact. I get asked this question a lot, what am I hearing? What am I seeing? And I tell my clients that, AI is not a hype. It is not a buzz. It is actually a mindset shift that I'm noticing among businesses. Businesses are now not asking if they should implement AI, but in fact, the conversation has changed to how. How do we adopt AI? How do we identify those areas where we can truly find and achieve the numbers that we are hearing in the media, which is 30% reduction in customer service calls, or 40% improve in ROI. Businesses are looking and eager to start achieving those within their organizations. Instead of talking to you about how we do it to our clients and how we've done it to support some of our clients, I wanted to actually have you guys listen. Listen to an AI talking to a financial advisor. Listen to how an AI supports, we were hearing earlier in terms of travel agencies. How, if we want to book a vacation, how AI supports us. But in this context, from a financial advisory perspective, how is AI being a specialist? How is AI doing the research for us in real time? Has access to the CRM information, has access to news, social media, using all that information to then supporting our investors. Because quite honestly, we've heard hyper-personalization in investment advisory for quite some time. But this is taking it to a different scale. So I'm going to play you a recording of a financial advisor. The financial advisor's name is Rachel. Rachel is having a conversation with an AI assistant, and what we call the perfect partnership. AI working alongside humans, because we all know that we are in the business of relationships. Human beings don't trust AI. Human beings trust human beings. So in the perfect partnership, AI is supporting a financial advisor.
Ekta, can I help explain in bahasa?
Go ahead.
Jadi teman-teman, contoh berikutnya adalah Rachel, seorang financial advisor, dia akan bertemu dengan investor. Di masa lalu, sebelum AI, menurut Ekta, Rachel akan meminta timnya mengumpulkan informasi. Mungkin dia punya 1, 2, atau 3 tim, mempelajari historical investor, makroekonomi, atau equity research. Dalam contoh ini, timnya itu digantikan oleh AI. Jadi suara yang teman-teman dengar adalah pembicaraan Rachel dengan AI untuk mempersiapkan Rachel menghadapi investor.
Sure. Now, as you were talking, I got reminded of Panji's presentation as well. And quite honestly, the AI can talk in Bahasa as well. So that's the beauty here in terms of what AI can do across regions, across geographies. So let's just listen to the audio now. Yeah, no, we tested it, so hopefully it should work.
Are you ready for your first meeting prep, or would like me to support you with another task?
Full prep, please.
Here's what matters for your meeting with Mr. Surya. Portfolio alert.
So what the AI is doing is prepping Rachel for a meeting. So every morning, Rachel comes in and the AI says, "Hey, Rachel, these are the meetings that you have. Your next meeting is Mr. Surya. Mr. Surya, these are the things that you need to consider. And that's the conversation you're going to hear.
You recently sold IDR $2 billion in telecom stocks. This could be a tax loss harvesting opportunity. Life event. His son has been admitted to NTU Singapore. We've prepared education fund options.
So his son is preparing for college, and Mr. Surya wants to hear perhaps the college fund investments. So the AI is supporting Rachel in terms of having access to the CRM data. So the AI has access to the CRM information real time, and bringing that information out and saying, hey, Rachel, for this meeting, you may want to address the school college fund that Mr. Surya may be interested in hearing.
Market impact. With the BI rate hike expected tomorrow, his bond portfolio might need adjustments. Sentiment check. His last email expressed excitement about the move to Singapore. Let me know if you need further details or have any questions.
So Mr. Surya is really excited about the move to Singapore, and that's the sentiment that the AI, has access to, because again, the AI has access to Mr. Surya's last conversation with the financial advisor, Rachel. What's the best angle to open this conversation?
I recommend starting with his son's admission, as it's his top priority. You could say, congrats on NTU with the telecom sale. Should we allocate some proceeds to his education fund? This smoothly transitions from personal to financial matters. Would you like me to draft this as a meeting script?
Yes, please. So the AI is now not just having a conversation, has access to all the information behind the scenes. It is also now going to perform a task. The task is, should I send you the meeting notes to your iPad so you have access to the meeting notes real time? Should I schedule a meeting for you? Those are the tasks that the AI is going to perform behind the scene. And let me clarify, if you think that these are the things that are happening in the past, what do you guys think? Is this a future or is it happening today? Yeah, there are firms who've already implemented this in their organizations. And financial advisors now have access to real time all this information so they can service their customers and clients better at scale. So it's no longer the white glove treatment. I think that concept is going to go away because that's going to be the norm. Everyone gets treated white glove service because, hey, AI is doing that for you at scale.
Added 3 fund options, low, medium, and high risk. Also included tax implications for each. I sent this to your iPad. Would you like me to pre-share this with Mr. Surya?
Not at this time.
Understood. I'll hold off on sharing for now. If you need, I can queue it up so it's ready to send after your meeting. Just say the word. Meanwhile, I'll stay on standby for any updates or real-time support during your session with Mr. Surya.
So what the AI is saying is that, okay, I'm going to be on standby. I'll be with you during your meeting. As soon as you give me the word, I will take action while you're in the meeting. Great. Any other breaking news?
Yes, Rachel. Breaking news just came in. Bank Indonesia announced stricter Forex rules. Mr. Surya has USD 500,000 inches overseas assets. This will affect his strategy. I've added it to your talking points. Here's the regulation summary on screen now. Key takeaway, there's a new 10% withholding tax on USD transfers over IDR 10 billion per year. Suggested pivot, let's discuss keeping more funds locally until Q3. Let me know if you need further details or adjustments.
Okay, this is good. Thank you.
You're welcome, Rachel. One last thing. Mr. Surya's wife just liked a LinkedIn post about ESG investing. Would you like me to...
So this is interesting, the last piece. Mr. Surya's wife just liked a post on LinkedIn on ESG. So that's real-time information, access to AI, and it's telling Rachel that, do you want me to include ESG in the portfolio?
Fund options as a surprise talking point for your meeting?
Brilliant, yes. Let's add 2 ESG picks to the script.
Done. I've added 2 ESG fund options to your script. The full briefing has been updated on your iPad. Should I schedule a follow-up meeting after BI's rate decision tomorrow?
Yes, that'll be very good.
Great. I'll schedule the follow-up meeting after BI's rate decision tomorrow. Your calendar will be updated shortly. Anything else you need before your meeting with Mr. Surya?
No, this is good. This has been very helpful brief. Thank you.
You're most welcome, Rachel.
Okay, so I'm not a financial advisor. And I just build technology. So I'm going to be very curious to hear from you guys later. What do you think of this technology? And how do you see this transforming the way you do business today? Now, I do want to also leave you guys with other options, other scenarios where AI is being implemented. So my clients, we're deploying AI, like I heard earlier about upskilling. So we're working with governments and other firms in using AI for upskilling talent and creating a strategy around that. We're also using AI for healthcare. We've been working with pharmaceutical companies to help accelerate clinical trials. We have an AI solution where we help clinics with scheduling appointments, follow-ups, reminders, making sure the patients have all the information they need before they come into a clinic. There are times when we ask the patients to write their history, patient history, before they come in or at the clinic. All of that is being taken care of automatically. So there are infinite use cases. For NGOs, we support them in terms of finding investors. There are AI, you probably have seen and heard by now, voice agents that do outbound, inbound calls. For NGOs, where they come in is these intelligent, receptionists. They make these calls to potential investors. Warm leads are then scheduled as calendar invites. And when the staff comes in the morning, they are only focusing on the investors that are interested. So, these are really a few examples, but our clients have been very, very creative and forthcoming in how they want to solve their business problems. So again, I'll be happy to share, and hear some of your challenges after this. So I'll end by just saying that there's a new book release from our side. My company has published a book on AI-powered wealth management. It'll be available in 2 weeks. So feel free to look out for it. It has some real use cases for you to benefit from. Thank you.
Thank you, Eka. Okay. Pak Joshua.
Terima kasih. Selamat pagi teman-teman sekalian. So my name is Joshua. So I work as an analyst, UBS Securities, but basically all my career is equity analyst. Day-to-day job is going to results, create draft reports, publish the report, talk to the clients, go marketing, do the whole thing again. I mean, this week is a crunch time, yeah. All the results came out, especially today and tomorrow, yeah. And a lot of obviously angst, spend time at night in the office, etc. But that's the job of the sell side analysts. I'm going to talk a little bit about how, not too distant future, some already are implemented, some are being implemented in Jakarta. So actually, this is more on the on the practical side. Okay, let's start. I don't have live examples, videos, but this is probably some not too distant future. An AI assisted analyst working daily life. So AI summarize the recent call with the corporates and then draft key takeaway note. Typical, yeah, if you're a junior analyst, I'm sure you spend 1 hour listening to Bank Mandiri conference call or result yesterday, BNI, and then you have to publish a draft report, right? It's a key takeaway note. Or second point, AI generates a draft note given the previous report and company press release. So wouldn't it be nice? Yeah. Yesterday we have BBNI. I'm the bank analyst. Yeah. So we got first quarter result of BNI. So wouldn't it be nice if I submit my Q4 note on BNI, coupled with the presentation slide from Bank BNI, and then the AI will generate for me draft first quarter result note. So I will be the first to come publish the report to the market. If the other analysts are still summarizing the notes from the call, I might already be published that report and calling the clients. Yeah, so this is coming, yeah, or this is happening. Third one, more internal, yeah, chats with the research handbook on certain research procedure. I think, of course, yeah, certain thing, price target changes. Does it requires investment review, or this is you can just publish? So you can always chat with the internal procedures whether or not to proceed, or you're not violating certain procedures. Number 4, report editing. You know, in Indonesia, as an Indonesian, right, our English is not very good. We always need editing. Sometimes our summary front pages versus what the rest of the draft didn't really show. Yeah, in most cases, clients only read the first paragraph. So sometimes it is supposed to be the last paragraph we write, has to be very succinct. You can get the story immediately from the first paragraph. I do think AI will definitely help Indonesian analysts in summarizing. If anything, your front page is the one that's going to be read. And if anything, your English is not very good, but with the AI help, definitely it can be much better. I think, sometimes if I submit the draft to the editor, 6 p.m., 7 p.m., only by 10 p.m. probably the editor came up with the other report and everything, you have to wait for your turn. If your English is already improved by AI, ya tentu your report will get easier, published time to market, yeah, faster. Simplify, shortening, sometimes very important, yeah. We tend to blabber, yeah, in terms of our writing, shortening, proofread, summarize, and also add the hook, yeah, in the report. Sometimes, after you submit, it go to supervisory analysts, they will check all your draft against compliance standard. So this is actually also can be helped by AI. Translation. You probably not did this in Indonesia because clients read in English, but in China, in Japan, this translation is very important. And I think what I read from our colleagues is actually translation quality is like, beyond 95%, probably 95 to 99%. Not quite the full translation of an editor, tapi is getting a lot there, yeah, in the past few years. So you publish the report and then quickly generate the Chinese versions or the Bahasa versions very quickly within a very short time period. Now, generate morning meeting script. Sometimes after you do the publication in the morning, 6:30, you have to talk only for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. So to come up with the script, summarizing it will be very helpful. Oh, full PowerPoint presentation. You know, sometimes you tell your associate, okay, publish this report, create the presentations, draft presentations. I think this can be done by AI already. Yeah, to come up with the full PowerPoint presentation draft from your report. Or after that, you help schedule calls with the client. So this is probably daily life. You don't have to, it's within the firm. Yeah. You don't have to talk to systems outside your firm. But this can make your life a lot easier as an analyst. Yeah, so I hope everyone works as an analyst or a buy side, sell side. Some of these are probably worth highlighting. Now, I got this radar to catch trends and jet engine to act faster. Obviously, with AI, it's not just about time saving in writing report, but actually generating ideas itself. So this is sort of like more in depth, deep research, background check. Yeah, sometimes as an analyst, I cover banks. I cover banks for a long time, 30 years. So my selling point is the experience because I cover banks long time ago during Asian financial crisis. I think if you're an upcoming analyst, to compete, you can actually get a lot more if a junior analyst, you can compete with senior analysts with the help of AI. We talk, I don't have to talk to Joshua on Indonesian banks regulatory reform. You can actually consult with AI. I think you can impress your clients by that. So it is actually democratizing between an experienced analyst and a junior analyst, actually. Second point, summarize consensus, highlight key debate. Sometimes you don't know, I don't know what to write. I've write a lot of stuff already. What's new? So with AI or generative, they can look into and I think some buy sides actually do this. What's reports out there on particular stock? What is the consensus? And then what is potentially key debates? Is it on the revenue line? Is it on the margin? Is it on the capex on particular company? So when you know that there are debates in the market from the reports, then you know, okay, this is probably the area or topic to write about. So this is sort of like idea generation, what to write on research. Number 3, update complex database in real time. I think this is ongoing. Bank analysts, we have monthly results for every bank in Indonesia. 100 banks, monthly result. You can easily, in the past, do quarterly, but now Bank Indonesia OJK requires monthly. So suddenly you are inundated with so many data, full. Sometimes we only use net interest income, PPOP, and net income, that's it. But actually the data is all quite rich and available. So check the website for update, download the monthly result, update automatically database, and generate next quarter's earnings draft. This is sort of like a cottage industry in itself, that you look at the monthly report, January, you think about the first quarter result. You get another update on the February, you update the preview for the first quarter. Then the result came and you check. So, but the idea is basically you can do idea generations. BNI margin has been 50 basis point drop quarter to quarter in February. So you know that the first quarter is going to be weak on the margin side. You can initially already write a report highlighting this fact. And sometimes, you can do it manually, of course, but with automations, this can be done quickly. Sometimes, you have to do stress testing. I cover banks, so I'm using the example of banks. When I was an analyst in 1998, it's very difficult to do. Everything is all over the place. You do stress testing. In 2008, you got all the data, but it takes me about maybe a week, 2 weeks to compile all banking financial results and do the stress test. And then write maybe another week or 2 weeks to write the report. So 1 month turnaround time. But I think sometimes with data scraping, you can do it quickly also. All what used to take 1 week of data collections, maybe take 1 hour, 2 hours. And so you can do the stress testing a lot easier, even today. But I believe with AI, we can do even beyond that. Yeah. Not only many more liquidity, NPL, or margin, or everything, and you can highlight which banks is weak, how many percent system deposits at risk, given let's say the rupiah, another tariff war, impact to Indonesia, impact for particular banks, how many mining sector exposure. So all of that, if it's actually the data is available, it just takes time to collect. But you take in the cover for banks, easy. But if you can deliver for the entire sector or top 20, top 30, it would be even more comprehensive, and clients will come to you instead of the other competitor. Idea generation, same thing, right? This is apart from what to write, but generally give you a bit more convictions about what idea stock that you think is going to go up or it's going to come down. Like I'm using here the search in monthly net interest margin. Yeah. And I do think that because these are informations available, updated monthly, the market will react monthly. So something that, and I do think the clients here also look at those data sets. Last point, this is data is available, but with AI, you can basically run the analytics a lot more quicker and everything. So, when with financial statements, this is use cases. Yeah, we have long form financial statements. Sometimes banks is about annual reports is probably 1,000 pages. Yeah, it's very impossible to do. You look at the 8 data points, and that's it, you write the reports. But a lot of information is actually available, and compilations of all the financial reports can generate new insight. What we did, we got 800 listed companies, and we've got 10 banks. So who borrow from which bank? This is happened. And then with AI, you can easily make that connection. Article in mathematics is the node and the edge. Who borrow from what bank? You compile that across time and across the companies, across sectors, across different corporate assets, and you come up with a new insight. Yeah, and AI is very good in extracting the data and probably doing a lot of the hard work. Maybe it change and make it faster. I depend on some associate who do the Python coding, etc. But nowadays you don't probably need that. What it took us maybe 2 weeks, 3 weeks to prepare, maybe now is basically readily available for we are not programmers, right? We're not coders. We're not really very good in Excel very much. But with AI, this can help us. So we did this for relationship map, for debt repayment capacity, for supply chain relationships. So is a vendor of Astra International within the 800 listed companies, and maybe we can get a lead in terms of Astra result by looking at the previous quarter, the 2 previous quarters of the suppliers. So this is actually, and this is on Indonesia. We can do it. Definitely has been done for large multinationals, like Apple, iPhone, etc. But with AI, it gives us the tool to as a radar, and also with AI, it has a jet engine to act faster. Yeah. This one is, I think, Akta probably explained about wealth management. It's quite similar sales, right? Equity sales. My counterpart in the company in securities, right? I think very easy, yeah. In simple terms, yeah. Summarizing all the published research came out with summarizing all the news, and your daily come first, yeah, in the morning. Yeah. You can actually track, is the client open the daily at 7 a.m. or 8 a.m., but definitely it will help you to come to the market faster. Yeah, summarizing as a salesperson. Generally speaking, I do believe the faster to respond, bigger capacity. as a salesperson, you may can only cover 10, 12, 15 clients, but with AI, you probably can, because you're faster to respond, you can cover more clients and tailor, obviously, what idea to what client and what to talk to the clients. I think as the example on the wealth management earlier. Organizing an investment conference as a sales side, we do investment conference like this, so it can help preparing marketing schedules. Just like calling with clients, you go to Singapore 3 days, you do all through the agents. Conducting consumer survey, we're doing consumer survey, and with AI, I can do a lot better, real-time monitoring, etc. Or analyzing funds performance. So these are being done. I believe, I explained to you more on myself a research, what sales or other use cases are being used or implemented right now. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Joshua. So, question and answer.
My name is Steve. I'm from utility company. So this is a question for Pak Panji. I think you have a very interesting point of view how AI capability have grown exponentially. But I think from what I understand, the energy demand of AI system is very high. And for example, ChatGPT prompt is required 10 to 100 times more energy than single Google query. And I think at this scale, the electricity needed for data center of hyperscale data center is compared with a small town energy usage. And I think I need your opinion regarding how we solve the energy consumptions for powering the AI data center. Because as you know that Indonesia still have a lot of people have a below energy capita per consumption. So maybe we will compete between powering AI data center with powering the neighbor or the people who still have a low energy consumption per capita. Thank you.
Thank you, Steve.
Thank you, Pak Steve, for your question. It's a very good question, and I think that's part of the issue that we currently have in terms of the AI versus the sustainability goal from Microsoft itself, right? And being honest with you, this is being progressive in our term when we think that there are at least two moving components that we can do and to address this concern. One, since ChatGPT is developed, there's many different versions already released, right? And that now is going to GPT 4.0.5. And within this release period, the key target is not just about the enhancement in terms of the capabilities, but also about the algorithm efficiency. So now we achieve certain milestone in terms of the compute requirement for each particular tokenizer and also understanding in the context of the LLM is already reduced much, right? But again, it's still ongoing improvement process. And the second one is the biggest idea that we have right now. Since the AI leveraging a lot of GPU over the CPU, now Microsoft building the specific chip processing unit that specifically designed to running AI function. So it will be eliminate the function from the GPU, but now going back to the single processor capability, meaning that we can reduce the efficiency. The other milestone that we're trying to do and the breakthrough in technologies is creating the quantum computing. This is something that quite fundamental in terms of the transforming the compute power requirement for the AI. But it's still in the very early stage because it's not just about changing the compute power, but also talking about changing all the fundamental layer of the AI itself. On the how it's built, how it's coded, a lot of need to be changed. So you will expect there's a lot of movement in terms of the energy efficiency, but you are already pointing out the key concern in terms of the AI development at this period of this milestone, right? But again, Pak Steve, you will see within the next 2 or 3 years that we will address that part. So if you hear more, Maya chip in the quantum computing is already squeezed down into productizable component. So we now trying to replace some of the GPU capability with quantum computing in order to reduce the energy consumption footprint. So that's what we do at this moment. Yeah.
Okay, thank you. That's very interesting topic, Steve. I guess CFA Society Nation need to make one workshop about that. The AI advancement versus energy saving. Wow.
Yeah, that's
Thank you so
also the
much.
issue. Yeah, thank you, Pastor.
Thank you so much for the opportunity. My name is Faisal, as I'm accountant from farming industry, PT Dharma Satya Nusantara. So I would like to ask the panelists, for younger generation to in finance in the age of AI. I mean, as accountant, is really don't know much about investment, AI, and etc. So what AI specifically that need to be learned? Because there's a bunch of product that offer at the moment, right? Do we, as a younger generation, need to only learn about the finance specialized AI, or many things? Because, or do we need to know how to use it and keep update the basic, or do we need to know how AI machine learning works, supervised or unsupervised works? Because at the moment, right now AI is very complex, and I need your advice how younger generation can win in this artificial intelligence era. Thank you.
Thank you, Pak Faisal. I will let Ekta to answer that one. But Pak Faisal, make sure stay tuned to the panel 2. The panel 2 will discuss the future skill of us. Okay, please, Ekta.
Faisal, we are in a stage of transition right now. So there are a lot of tools and technologies that are coming up relating to the specific industry that you are. So in finance, there are certain kinds of tools and technologies that you may want to learn and keep yourself closer to. Based on what industry you are, you should pick the right tools. Because I see there are a lot of content out there promoting AI tools. And it looks, and you can, get captivated by all the fancy things they are doing. But you have to be rooted in your task. What is your day job, and what are the things that you can do to support that particular job that you're into? So definitely leverage AI in your day job. At best as you can, but also don't get distracted by a lot of social media noise around AI and AI tools.
Thank you, Ekta. And yeah, please.
My name is Daniel Santosa, final year engineering management student from Institut Teknologi Bandung. I want to address my question to Pak Joshua. In highly regulated sectors like finance, how could we make sure that sensitive data of clients or companies that we uploaded to AI models like the GPT will be safely kept by third-party companies? How can we make sure that risk of data breaching is not going to happen? Thank you.
Of course, I actually split my slide to the two slides. The first thing about report writing, everything is internal. You don't talk to other system. Yeah, so of course, very important. But for me, working in a company, this is already given from the top down. And generally, of course, we work on a closed system, but still using large language model. And can still, you get the productivity. The second part, when I talk about idea generation, this is all public, right? But it is also based on public information. It's just the way you handle it using some agents driving you the data. So I guess if it is public information, it's all financial reports of the banks. Yeah, it's not really from internal company, right? But the analysis itself could be becoming proprietary, but it's available too. So I don't know. I mean, this part is kind of open area. I guess later on we'll probably have some governance, etc., etc. But yeah, you don't work and your own report writing. It's not on the public platform. It has to be internal. But it's more about how the AI being implemented in company by company. I know sometimes everything is easy, free, so yeah, that will be the risk. But some other firms choose to closing off, right? So it depends on the company you work for, I guess. Yeah.
Is that true, Pak Joshua? I guess the AI advancement also require us to think first energy saving and now about the governance.
Yeah, of course, security, right?
Yeah.
I mean, you don't simplify your draft to ChatGPT, yeah, because that's your draft research. It's actually internally it's called unpublished, sensitive public information.
Yeah.
Right? You can move share price, we think, but point that basically it has to be within the research Chinese walls, right? Of course.
So I guess that a lot of do and don't that we really need to go through.
Yeah. But us as an associate and analyst working, hope that this is already being think about by the people who implement AI in your company. Yeah.
Okay. So, Ekta, can I get your view? Because I know that you have expertise in risk management and you, I think, get some exposure in cyber security.
Yes, so the banks, so JP Morgan Chase, we were, in cybersecurity, has the latest and greatest tools and talent. Anytime there's a geopolitical event, the president makes a statement, the banking sector gets impacted right away.
Okay.
So weekends or no weekends, there's a lot of impact. AI has helped in identifying anomalies and being proactive, what I call being a smoke detective rather than a fire extinguisher. So you look for threats and vulnerabilities rather than be on a more defensive mode. AI has definitely a potential to help us get more proactive. But let's also not be naive. The AI in the hands of bad actors is equally powerful. So we have to stay ahead. We do need a lot of governance and a lot of skills, actually, talent to handle AI ethically. So, of course, there's a cybersecurity element. There is definitely an ethical element. There are inherent biases built into the AI model. So there are many considerations. It's not a very easy conversation to be had, but it is a very important conversation to be had at all levels in the organization as well as governments.
Okay. I hope that answers your question, Daniel. Thank you. Okay. The final two, please. Halo Pak, salam.
Yeah. Okay. I just have one question. Yeah. One question to Pak Joshua. Can AI replace research analysts? Can AI replace fund management? Because it happens in China. People with sick, no more go to doctor. Just ChatGPT, and the analysis is more accurate than the doctor. So I want to know your opinion.
Wow. I will love to hear the conclusion from panel 2 also. Yes, Pak Joshua, please.
Like kalau always a programmer, everything can, Pak. Tapi I hope hope not in my lifetime as a professional analyst. But you can see, the promise that you don't hire as an analyst, instead of covering 10 stocks, you can cover 20, 30 stocks. Instead of 2 associates, you might need only 1 associate, but with help with AI. So it does help in terms of productivity. Yeah. But like in all these things so far, in the implementation, you are still accountable as an analyst, a human analyst, right? So we are still accountable for what we write, what we recommend. AI is only helping. So I don't know, I think this is probably the next few years, but whether or not it will be able to replace, who knows, maybe it can. but maybe it cannot do. So I don't know the answer. But today, yeah, you are still responsible for what you write, even though your writing probably also held by AI.
Thank you, Pak Joshua. I hope that answer.
I'm Arik. I'm a digital policy analyst from the Ministry of Communication and Digital Affairs. And as Indonesia develops a regulatory sandbox for AI providers, how can the investment industry work in the government to test AI tools, safety without slowing innovation? And what can the industry do to help set responsible standards for AI in the finance sector especially? Thank you.
I think Pak Panji bisa bantu.
I think it's also not my mojo, but let me try to respond to that one. Actually, this is related with the new function and the new regulation and OJK regarding the innovation in the sector keuangan, ITSK, right? And then they already provide some of the safe environment, we call it a regulatory sandbox, because sandbox itself have two phases. One is about regulatory and other is about the innovation sandbox. This is have the different mechanism. What OJK trying to, again, I'm not talking on behalf of OJK, but it's as far as I know, OJK will provide such a period for the bank to do the innovation in this particular sandbox, right? So not the bank, the financial sector industries, right? So it's not just a bank. Within this particular period, OJK will provide the supervision process. If I'm not mistaken, at the maximum is 3 years. So they can do the pilot, they can do all the innovation, including the AI technologies, without considering some of the unmitigated risks, right? And then within that period, they will do the assessment, and then at the end, they will make decision whether this can be continued as the new innovation or they need to be revised, right? So I think OJK is really now going into the more open in terms of the innovation, because previously, because OJK is really very focusing on the risk management in terms of the bank operation. But with this ITSK new regulation and this sandbox, showing that they are not just trying to pushing only the brake, but also now a bit speeding in terms of the innovation. So I think they are trying to balance all this. Yeah.
So I guess that the way I understand, I'm not really get it.
Yeah.
I think the question is a bit technical, but what you're trying to say is, in today's environment, if you want to upgrade a system or you want to implement new system, that is some kind of step-by-step process that you need to take, right? You need maybe to assess, you give some period of time, and you give yourself time to think whether you continue or discontinue. It's not only applied to OJK, right? I guess we can learn it also for implementation in the company.
Yeah, I think on the sandbox context here is talking about OJK's regulatory, right?
Okay.
And they will provide to the financial sector the opportunity to do the innovation. For example, if the Pak Joshua mentioned that they want to infuse more AI into this process and their daily life, and then they can propose to the OJK to testing out all this idea, and then let's revise together within the next 3 years, and then make decision after that. If it's okay, and then UBS can implement it largely.
I think we need another session for this.
Yeah, correct.
Another
It's quite
session. I hope that really give some idea. Okay, we are in the end, in the closing end of the panel one. So I would like Pak Joshua and Pak Panji to give a final conclusion, advice, or whatever key takeaway for the audience.
Okay, I'll start. So again, I get asked a lot of questions. What is a good time to implement AI? And, do we really need to in our organization? And the response I give is the time to implement AI was yesterday, but today is good enough. And the way I would encourage you to think about AI is not whether you can afford AI, but can you afford not to think about AI or not to do anything about it. So I leave you with that thought to ponder. Thank you.
Thank you. Pak Joshua?
Okay, I think my key message as CFA associates, as a CFA analyst, whether or not we like it, it is happening, it's coming. It is still early days in Jakarta. In Jakarta, it's all opportunities. Embrace it. analysts without AI or analysts with AI. I think, competition is getting tougher by the days. Same thing. So my be open-minded and look for opportunities to implement the technology in our work. Yeah.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Buhani. I think I just want to give one story. But when Microsoft starting up the AI journey, we make decision to call every AI solution become a co-pilot. This is very significant thinking process. Why the name is co-pilot? Because we believe at the end, AI will become our co-pilot where we are as a pilot. So everything that you do in terms of the daily use of the AI, please put AI as not just your competitor, not at all, but you become your co-pilot to ensure that you achieve and produce something more effective, more accurate by helping AI. So that's the governance process, and we ensure there is no such way that AI will overlapping the capability of human, but again, it will be empowered human to do more. That's the idea. Yeah.
Okay, thank you so much. So for me, my key takeaway is it is up to us. We have to choose whether we want to adopt AI sooner or later. And AI can help us to be a better version of us, doing a better business, and achieving a better result. That's what my key takeaway. Okay, thank you so much. Let's clap a hand for the panel.
This session is actually very close to heart as a financial professional because it how the AI will impact us directly.
All is impacted, the individuals, economics, organization, the society. What we can do is embrace it and don't forget, right? It is going to be substitute some of our works, but it is up to us to collaborate with AI.
One of the most growing sectors right now is actually in infrastructure. Why? In infrastructure, we no longer say data is the new oil. We now say data is the new oxygen.
We can do a better conflict management. Okay, so that's the limit of AI. And one more, the most important is AI does not have heart, but human, we all have heart. That's where you shine.